Canada, land of the welcoming embrace, known for its vast landscapes and diverse culture, is changing. At its borders, more and more foreigners are being turned away. Visitor visas are denied. Work permits dwindle. The once open doors are now closing for many. Even at the airport, travelers report difficulty entering. The frustration is palpable as they face unexpected barriers. This is not the Canada many know. The image of a welcoming nation is being challenged. These rejections are a symptom of a deeper unease. Anti-immigration sentiment is growing, fueled by fear and uncertainty. As Canadians face rising costs and economic uncertainty, immigration has become a focal point. The debate intensifies as economic pressures mount. The upcoming election will be a crucial test. Political leaders are divided and the stakes are high. Will Canada hold onto its open spirit? Or will the doors begin to close? The nation's identity hangs in the balance. The answer is far from simple. It requires careful consideration and empathy. It lies in understanding the forces at play, economic anxieties, social shifts, and the political gamesmanship that can exploit them. The future depends on this understanding. Only then can we see the path forward for a nation at a crossroads. The journey ahead is uncertain, but hope remains. Historically, Canada has been shaped by waves of immigration. From the early 20th century, when policies favored European settlers, to the post-war era that saw a more inclusive approach. The 1971 multiculturalism policy marked a significant shift, embracing diversity as a core value. This policy laid the groundwork for the multicultural society we see today. Yet the landscape continues to evolve. Recent years have seen new challenges and debates, reflecting the complexities of a globalized world. Understanding this history is crucial as we navigate the present and look towards the future. The Canadian identity has long been intertwined with welcoming immigrants, but something is shifting. Public opinion polls reveal a growing unease about immigration's impact. This isn't a sudden storm, but a slow tide rising over decades. Economic worries play a role, but it's deeper than that. Some Canadians feel their way of life is threatened, their culture diluted. This fear is most pronounced among certain groups, those with strong religious beliefs, particular ethnicities, or specific political leanings. This trend is not unique to Canada. Across the Western world, similar anxieties simmer. Globalization, economic turmoil, and rapid social change have left many feeling adrift. Immigration becomes an easy target, a scapegoat for broader uncertainties. It's no secret that money talks. And when Canadians feel their wallets squeezed, their views on immigration can change. The perception is that newcomers take jobs, drive down wages, and strain social services. This sentiment is strongest in places hit hard by economic hardship. When jobs are scarce and the cost of living soars, competition for resources becomes fierce. Immigration, fairly or not, gets caught in the crossfire. The pandemic exacerbated these fears. Lockdowns led to job losses and financial instability. Against this backdrop, immigrants become an easy target, blamed for problems they didn't create. This economic anxiety is fertile ground for anti-immigration rhetoric to take root. In the arena of politics, few issues are as potent as immigration. It's a topic ripe for exploitation, a way to stoke fear and win votes. Right-wing populist parties, in particular, have seized upon this strategy. They paint a picture of immigrants as a threat to national security, to cultural identity, to the very fabric of society. This rhetoric resonates with those already anxious about change. It provides an enemy a reason for their struggles. The upcoming election will test the power of this tactic. Will Canadians choose parties promising to restrict immigration or those upholding the nation's welcoming tradition? The answer will shape Canada's future for generations. A global shift amplified online. Canada is not an island. It is deeply interconnected with the rest of the world. The anxieties it faces are mirrored across the West, where similar issues are brewing. Globalization, for all its benefits, has also fueled a sense of displacement. Jobs are outsourced, cultures blend, and traditional ways of life are challenged. The pace of change is relentless, leaving many feeling left behind. Social media acts as an accelerant. Algorithms create echo chambers, reinforcing existing biases. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, unchecked by facts or nuance, and often goes viral. This unchecked spread of misinformation can lead to confusion and mistrust. Immigration becomes a lightning rod for these anxieties, sparking heated debates and strong emotions. These debates are amplified in the digital sphere, where opinions can quickly become polarized. This online world can feel separate from reality, yet its impact is very real. It shapes opinions, fuels polarization, and makes reasoned debate difficult. The challenge is not just to combat misinformation, but to rebuild trust and foster critical thinking. Combating this requires more than just fact-checking. It requires rebuilding trust, fostering critical thinking, and encouraging open, respectful dialogue. Divisions run deep in society. To understand anti-immigration sentiment, we must look beyond economics. Social and political identities play a powerful role. Research shows that certain groups are more likely to hold negative views towards immigrants. Religion is one factor. Studies suggest that those identifying as Christian are more likely to express anti-immigration views than those who are Muslim or secular. This is not to say all Christians are anti-immigration, but it highlights a trend. Political affiliation is another key variable. The left-right divide on immigration is stark. Those on the right are far more likely to view immigration negatively, seeing it as a threat to their values and way of life. Exploiting fear on the campaign trail. Immigration, sadly, has become a political weapon, wielded to manipulate public opinion and sway votes. Politicians, particularly those on the right, use it to stoke fear and division for their own gain, creating an atmosphere of distrust. They paint a picture of a nation under siege, its identity and prosperity at risk, suggesting that immigrants are the root cause of societal issues. This rhetoric is often divorced from reality, ignoring the contributions immigrants make to society. Immigrants are falsely blamed for crime waves, economic woes, and cultural erosion, despite evidence to the contrary. This tactic may win votes, but it comes at a steep cost. The consequences are real. Discrimination increases, prejudice festers, and social cohesion deteriorates. Immigrant communities live in fear, constantly worried about their safety and acceptance. This is not the Canada that once welcomed the world with open arms, embracing diversity and inclusion. It is a nation teetering on the edge of a dangerous divide, risking its core values of unity and acceptance. Beyond black and white thinking. The immigration debate is often framed in stark terms: open borders versus closed borders, us versus them. This simplistic view ignores the nuances of a complex issue. It prevents honest conversation and meaningful solutions. We need to move beyond fear-mongering and stereotypes. Immigrants are not a monolithic group. They come from diverse backgrounds with varying skills and aspirations. Many contribute positively to Canadian society. We must acknowledge the economic anxieties that fuel anti-immigration sentiment, but also highlight the benefits immigrants bring. They fill labor gaps, start businesses, and enrich the cultural tapestry. A balanced perspective is crucial. Canada's crossroads, inclusion or exclusion. Canada stands at a crossroads. The path it chooses will determine its character for generations. Will it succumb to fear and retreat from its tradition of openness? Or will it reaffirm its commitment to diversity and inclusion? The answer lies in the hands of its citizens. Will they allow themselves to be divided by politicians peddling fear? Or will they choose compassion and understanding, embracing the richness that immigration brings? The stakes are high. Canada's future as a tolerant, prosperous, and welcoming nation hangs in the balance. The time for thoughtful reflection and courageous action is now.